90s kids seem like they will never be pleased. And, I'm a 90s kid, but I was born in the 90s, but, I was born in 97, so I guess that means that I'm sort of a 2000s kid where, I know a lot more and remember a lot more of Jimmy Neutron and Danny Phantom and Avatar: The Last Airbender. But why I'm talking about this is because Nickelodeon, right, in the past 5 years, or at least in the past decade, has gotten astronomically horrible. It is one of the worst channels I have ever seen, or one of the worst transitions of a channel that I've ever seen. Their target market seems to be girls or whatever they're going after, because the jokes in their cartoons aren't funny. They have two cartoons that are on life support and need to die: SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents. They are horrible shows. Now there's one show, I almost forgot it, Harvey Beaks, which is amazing. It's like finding a diamond in a bunch of poop. It's beautiful, but Nickelodeon is, I barely hear any 90s kids mention how bad Nickelodeon is. I never hear anyone say, oh, well, Nickelodeon is actually doing bad. Everyone always points the eye at Cartoon Network. Always. And everyone's all excited about Nickelodeon. I'm worried, honestly, that Nickelodeon is rebooting all these series because they've done a horrible job with everything else. I'm worried about Hey Arnold. I'm worried about all of these shows that are coming to Nickelodeon because they are at risk of becoming horrible. And Cartoon Network, what have they done in the past 5 years? They've established multiple shows that have gotten really good or were good since launch. Regular Show, one of the best cartoons I've seen ever. It is just, I don't know how to explain it. It just is one of the, sit down, watch a couple episodes from every season and realize that this show has not gotten worse over time. It just it's stayed at that great peak of excellence. The Adventure Time still has a following. People have this mixed reception of it, but it still has a following. Cartoon Network has found a cartoon that does that, followed with Steven Universe, which also has a following, which also has mixed reception, but I believe is a little bit better in terms of keeping an audience and keeping people really interested in the world because it's not so spread out. Additionally, you have Gumball, which, a couple years ago had some issues. It seemed like it was losing itself, but it just got itself back on track in the past few years. It seems really good. It looks really good. The comedy is great. I love Amazing World of Gumball. It is it's just as funny as other cartoons, and it feels great now. And it did in the beginning, but the slice of life aspects that they put into it are really good, just like Clarence. And I think Clarence kind of gets forgotten because it launched, and it's something where it kind of faded out a little bit, but it's still a very good show, along with Uncle Grandpa, which some people, I'm not a fan of Uncle Grandpa, but people love it. Apparently, people enjoy it. Just like Teen Titans Go, which has a following too. If you're hearing what I'm saying, it has a following. Not everyone has critical reception of it. That is great, except for Regular Show, which I think there's not many people that really hate it. But overall, there's always there's so much of a following between Cartoon Network's original programming. There's just Cartoon Network in the past 5 years has gotten itself back on track. It has gotten itself from CN Real from 2008, 2009 to one of the best channels to recommend to anyone. And Powerpuff Girls just came out, and I did a reaction to it, and it's one of the best reboot adaptations I've seen. And it's really simple to do a reboot adaptation of Powerpuff Girls, but one of the things that I thought was going to be very difficult is to get the same sort of nature of the characters and the humor in, and we had a minute, like 1 minute, 60 seconds, or even less. I think it's like 40 seconds if you don't add all the junk of the logo and stuff, but 40 seconds, right? Bubbles, we see the character, right? Bubbles is the same way that she was. You can tell because of what they're portraying her in this little clip. It gives us everything we need to know. With Blossom looking at everything, paying attention to the entire thing, probably will do something later on in that episode. You have Buttercup immediately ready to attack. This is Powerpuff Girls, and then the people that are just assaulting this show before it launches because of a 1 minute, not an entire episode, no, 1 minute. Oh, the logo doesn't look good. Oh, the characters, they don't seem like they're characters. And the one thing that I don't understand are the voice actors. I don't get, why is it that the voice actors have to be the same exact way? Because Buttercup is one of the I think it's solid. If you can't get over voice acting, then I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't be watching Powerpuff Girls, and you need to go and get a DVD set of Powerpuff Girls, the original, and just stay in your state of mind alone watching that. And everyone will have their own opinion, but realistically, move on with this current time that it is 2016. It has been, I think, about a decade or maybe a little bit more since Powerpuff Girls ended. Everyone hated Dance Pants Revolution. Everyone's getting critical about this when Dance Pants Revolution was the worst adaptation I've ever seen. And now we get this. They don't act bratty. They don't act stupid. They act the way that they were acting before. This looks like Powerpuff Girls. This sounds like Powerpuff Girls and feels like Powerpuff Girls. And it was a sigh of relief for me when I saw this, because there were so many ways they could have taken this. And to hear the outrage of so many other people is confusing. Because unless you cannot get yourself out of the 1990s, unless you cannot say, Cartoon Network has established itself, Nickelodeon is about to release a Hey Arnold movie, get your head out of your ass and look at the world around you and say, oh, Cartoon Network's on track and they've been putting out content that's really good. Maybe I should look at Powerpuff Girls as a good thing, because Cartoon Network has the respectable lineup of historic shows in the past 5 years to say that this will be good as well. You can't say the same thing for what Hey Arnold will be in 2016. You can't say the same thing for anything Disney Channel, because Disney Channel has turned itself into, I don't know, ABC Family for Kids. So honestly, this is one of the best looking shows in the lineup, and this will be crucial for Cartoon Network within the next decade that it's along. I think that this will last for a very long time, definitely past 2020. If you look at the future of Cartoon Network, right, regular show at a certain point will end, and that's something that I'm really that really kind of bugs me, because I love regular show and I love Adventure Time as well, and I love Gumball. I love the lineup that they have. It's really good. It's a variety, but it's really nice. But at a certain point, the Titans that started this whole thing, regular show and Adventure Time, will age out. I think Adventure Time has an age where it will die off first, and then regular show probably before 2020. So I think 2020 is that separation point where we get the end of these two shows, and then we have to have pillars that will pick Cartoon Network up and continue that lineup, right? That's the whole thing. You need to have these programs that are still going to keep everyone interested. So once those two go, or if they have, just a bunch of reruns over and over, then there's going to be some new programming, and Cartoon Network has done that every single year. So to say Powerpuff Girls will be bad is a load of crap. I don't see this being terrible, because we've seen the lineup Cartoon Network has presented. We have seen the fan reaction. I mean, if you are comparing this to Teen Titans Go, which is the one notable example, what they did with Teen Titans Go is they angled it toward an audience that is not the audience that the original Teen Titans was for. This is obviously for kids. I dislike it. Lots of people dislike the fact that Teen Titans Go is not the spiritual successor to Teen Titans. It is, the jokes are horrible most of the time. Well, not horrible, they're hit and miss, but here's the thing, right? Teen Titans Go is for kids. You can tell. The humor, or not for kids, but there's a level of humor that is not in tone with the original Teen Titans. There's not a level of action that is on par with Teen Titans where it's for all ages. No, this is obviously set for a certain age group. This is obviously set for a certain demographic that Teen Titans Go is going to favor, right? And I used to think, okay, this is the Johnny Test replacement, right? The jokes and the humor are perfect for a Johnny Test replacement. And we see that this is still getting high ratings. It's still very popular. It's not anything that people are going against, except for the people that watched the original Teen Titans. The kids that are watching it now enjoy it. So honestly, if the cool thing would be if they went from Teen Titans Go and then jump back into a new Teen Titans, right? That would be something where it would get those kids that watched Teen Titans Go into a completely new take that they have not seen yet. So this will be really interesting and really nice to see where they go with Teen Titans in the next decade or beyond with that. But you know, I just don't understand this status right now, that Cartoon Network is in a bad shape, or that Powerpuff Girls is going to be bad, because realistically, this feels, sounds, and is the greatest successor to Powerpuff Girls ever. There's nothing that has come since that is better or looks better than what this is. And some of you said the art style is lazy. I do not think it's lazy. I think that it is the lack or the level of critical response if they did anything different. If they did one thing different or anything massively adjusted, then everyone will be mad. So I like the fact that they played it safe. It's smart. They played it safe, and it was a smart move. It'll get other people back in that aren't like, in this group that are acting like 5-year-olds to a show that they watched when they were 5 and is now a decade on, and they can't really move on from that. But anyway, guys, what do you think of Cartoon Network right now? I just had to let that out because that was stupid and ridiculous and annoying. Cartoon Network is better than ever. Arguably, there are shows like Kids Next Door and Foster's that Cartoon Network will never be able to reach that status ever again. But I think that it's about on par with Cartoon Network in the early 2000s in terms of its programming lineup, and in terms of just it the way that they're messaging themselves, and just this feeling and sense that there's a huge community that's just enjoying the content. So guys, I'm Brian Swan. If you like this video, I'll have more opinions, and I already have reviews for Super Noobs, regular show, and my reaction to Powerpuff Girls. Just check out my channel and subscribe if you want more content. But guys, I had to get that out. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching.